Hey guys. So, something is on my heart this morning, and I just want to encourage everybody to not live so vicariously through the rest of the world. What I mean by that, is that, right now in today's time, we have access to people's lives, to other people's lives, like never before in history. Like no other time in history have, like in the past, North Carolina. There's been no other time in history, like in the past 10 or 15 years, which is, I know for some people watching this video is probably as long as you've been alive, but no other time in history have we been able to just pick up our phones and immediately be transported into any other time frame and into other people's lives and things like that. And so it's super duper important that you build an internal filter that you stick to no matter what, where you are very, very picky and selective about what you take in, about the information you take in. So like back in the, I don't know, back in the 1960s and 50s, people didn't have to worry so much about their media intake because, or their information intake, because the information portal was so narrow. You had to be in a very certain specific situation in order to take in news and current events and to know what happened 10 miles down the road, 100 miles down the road, across the country, whatever. Back in the 1960s, you had to be at home, you had to have a TV, you had to catch the news when it was on and be sitting there and watch it, and you only got what they shared with you, and you only saw the images for that moment, and then you had to wait 5 or 6 hours for the next news show to come on to catch it again if you wanted to, or to read it in the paper. Whereas nowadays, obviously, you can just pick up your phone first thing in the morning, scroll on Facebook, get on any other social media platform, or sometimes you can get, like, I know in my area there's a breaking news app where they actually send you alerts every time something terrible happens. Like it's so easy to get bad news nowadays, and for most people, especially for a lot of young people, I think they call them Generation X or whatever, like the youngest age group of people, like who I guess were born in 2000 or more recently. This is all they know. This is all they know, is this influx of negative information. That's all they know, and a lot of us are living our lives through our phone. We're gauging the temperature of our life through what's being fed to us on through our phone. And I can tell you, in case you haven't realized, 99% of the information that you're going to get off of your phone through the media, through most social media platforms, through people's, whether it's posts or current events from a news station, it's all going to be negative. It paints the world in such a negative light. And what that does to you as a person, to us as people, is it puts a chip on our shoulder, when really, in your life, in my life, and in the majority of people's lives, nothing is going on that you should be suffering from. The suffering that we are experiencing is happening in our mind. We're suffering because of things that we know happened in the past. We're suffering like Black people with slavery. That information is so accessible. You can go and read detailed stories where before you might have to go to a library, have a library card, go to the library, all that stuff, or have a computer. Now it's right there at your fingertips. Not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that we have to be selective as a people of how much of that negativity we take in, because too many people are starting to jump on this bandwagon idea that life is mostly negative all the time. And that is simply not the case. And not enough people online are loud enough. There's not enough of those positive voices online like mine or other people to say, hey, I live this life every day and my life is actually pretty great. Like, yeah, do I have bills and do I wish I had more money? Yes, of course, but I'm not a slave. I'm not oppressed. And there are people who they just submerge themselves in, and I'm using Black culture just for this example because I hear a lot of people saying, especially with when George Floyd was killed on camera, a lot of people were saying that Black people are still oppressed and Black people are being hunted, and that is a picture that's being painted online. Whereas if you really go out your door, I don't know where you live specifically, but I know I would safely say for the majority of Black people, And you have to consider that, first of all, most people say, no, because I know everyone on my friend list, they can go down and give you multiple accounts of times that they were, racially profiled or discriminated against or abused by the police. And I'm sure that a lot of people can have those accounts, but you have to keep something in mind. Only a percentage of people who are Black and in America actually are on social media. Like, I think there are some people who think that every Black person in America is on social media voicing their opinion and voicing their experiences. No, the majority of people who are living great lives and who are emotionally and healthy and intelligent and positive thinking and have great vibes, they actually stay off of social media, but probably because of how negative it is, or they're on social media and they're just not in your circle of, of friends or sub society. But I want people to just be more selective about what you take in, and don't gauge your emotions about your present life based on something that happened that literally did not involve you, or something that's currently happening that literally does not involve you. And you might think it's inhumane for me to say that you shouldn't be upset about the COVID thing if it didn't impact you, but I'm going to go ahead and say you should not be like emotionally in turmoil over the COVID thing if it has not impacted you or your family. You have to, to me, that's a sign of, and not bashing anybody, because I haven't been this way all my life. Like, I just learned what it means to be emotionally intelligent and to be, a conscious, thinker, and not just allowing like programmed things to run through your mind. But you have to pull yourself into reality, into your present reality, and ask yourself, okay, what is actually happening to me in this moment? Is anything going on to me right now in this moment? Or am I upset and stressed out and irritated by something that happened in the past, by some injustice in the past? No matter how great the injustice is, if it is not happening to you right now in this moment, then to be upset about it and to post about it and to focus on it is just to keep generating that negativity over and over and over again in your life. You have to be more selective. Even like with people who are obsessed with celebrities, there are people who, I just had almost a 50-minute conversation with a friend of mine, Black man, who is working on a clothing line. He spent about 3 minutes talking about his t-shirt and the next 50 minutes talking about how upset he is that more people don't understand Kanye West. And like, yes, it feels great to be part of a group of people who, are talking about the latest current events, but we got to get out of that group think, need to be part of a group, need to be on the latest conversation mentality, and just live your own life. Like, what does Kanye West have to do with me or you? Does he know me or you? Like, he has nothing to do with us. And neither does what's going on the news or whatever. I'm just saying, I got to go because my friend is outside. But be more selective about what you take in, and take some moments in your life to really just ask yourself, what are you worried about? What are you mad about? Is it something that's happening to you, or something that you think might happen to you in the future, or something that happened to you in the past? Like, your mental health is worth it. Your mental health is worth it. Love you guys. Peace.